Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show. A show where Baku and I talk about everything that catches our interest and or ire. We stream live every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be previewing some trailers, talking about some upcoming video games, maybe even talking a little bit of anime this time, which is something that I feel like we always kind of say that we do, but then we never end up actually doing it. We're gonna do it today. At least I am. I don't know. Maybe Baku isn't. I don't know. But hey, we'll be responding to super chats at the end of the show, and we're also going to be responding to last week's comments towards the end of the show as well. So again, I think that worked out pretty well last time, where we kind of postponed a little bit of that. I'm very excited, guys. Happy 99. Happy 99 anniversary.
Oh boy.
90 no. Episode huzzah!
Episode
yes, episode anniversary of 99. What does that equate to in months and years? I don't know, but at best, if we do this every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, like I always say that it is, it's almost a 2-year anniversary, but it's not quite. I think we've been going at this a little longer than that, but hey, it's good to see you guys. How are you all doing today?
Yeah, I hope you guys are doing well.
I can't hear them through. Guys, do you have your microphones turned on? Okay.
Yeah.
Baku,
Hello?
how are you doing today?
Are we here? Can you guys hear us?
How are you doing, Baku?
I'm doing all right. I went to a wedding yesterday. I am still a little hungover right now, so we party a little too hard there. Yeah, I also celebrated my mother's birthday. Made her dinner, and then rushed over to a wedding. And yeah, it was quite a bit of work that I had to do yesterday.
Oh wow, yeah,
but I had a great time. It was a lot of celebration every day. Yeah. How about you, man? What you up to?
I've been doing some stuff behind the scenes. So, just working on videos that I can't actually talk about right now, but there's a television behind me, and I spent the last couple of days kind of figuring out how to get it, doing stuff that I wanted to do, and I'm very pleased. I got to watch the WAN show on it the other day in 240p.
Oh, yeah, you showed it to me.
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot of it. I was watching the WAN show from Linus Tech Tips. It's their podcast, and I got to watch that in 240p on my Sony PVM. It was pretty fun.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So something fun that happened yesterday that we should probably talk a little bit about, Mr. Derek.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I put out a video yesterday on my main YouTube channel, the JRPG Weekly Update. It's like a very, very, very abridged version of this show. Very much abridged, and it's just a one-man show for those who don't know. JRPG Weekly Update, it's great. I love y'all on it. It's fun, and during that episode I mentioned that if y'all could just wait until the end of October and then come follow us here and at the HP Pod, the new YouTube channel, that if we could hit 500, well, y'all didn't wait, which means that we have over 500 subscribers on the new HitPoint channel. 99 episodes, and we finally hit 500 subscribers. Quality.
That's the story.
No, I think what Baku's trying to get me to say is that there will be a non-HitPoint stream on the HP Pod channel here. I think probably next weekend. I could probably aim for Halloween. I'll find out what my availability is on All Hallows Eve. So to celebrate, Baku bought me a copy of Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag
Not-
sponsored by Baku.
Yeah. Baku bankrolling my torture on next weekend, I think. So
I made good on my promise. I said that this is towards the beginning of the month. I said if we get 500 sub, and at the time we were like 417 or something. We were like 100, like close to 100 away. I was like, you know what? If we can hit 500 within this month, I will. Derek's like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? I'll do a horror game, and I'm like,
that's a long enough shot for me. That's, there's no way I'm gonna have to. Oh crap!
Don't underestimate our viewers and their sadistic tendencies, sir. You've streamed long enough. You understand.
well played. Oh man. So yeah, I think one of the other repercussions of hitting this milestone is going to be discussed a little bit later in the episode, kind of discussing the future plans for HitPoint and its whereabouts. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Instead, let's go ahead and switch over to a different overlay here for delays.
No, delays. Womp womp.
Yep.
All right. Did you want to touch on this one?
Okay,
first,
yeah. I'll take this one first. All right. So, for delays, here's a game that we actually haven't even talked about yet, but I discovered it because of the news of the delays. So I guess in some ways, that even news of delays can be good news and good exposure. So there's this indie game called Toads of the Bayou. It has been delayed. It was going to release here in October, but it's been delayed into November 19 of 2024, and it's exclusively on Steam as far as I know. But I wanted to show you guys this trailer because it's a pretty cool looking tactics RPG, pixel art, and it features, I don't know, art that reminds me of like, what was the old cartoon, Mr. Frog and Toad? Did you remember watching that stuff back in the?
No, I
Frog and Toad is like based on a like a book. Oh, anyways, let's check this out.
Okay.
Yeah, let me find the buttons to make this happen. Here it is.
Yeah. Ooh, even the music's cool.
Yeah, frogs in a swamp, buddy. Well, toads. Look at that. Oh. How has this slipped past my attention?
Is that a card?
Well, I can look past that. So it is tactics, but it is also card-based, apparently. And maybe it's that card-based stuff that turned me away.
Oh, those are some cool cards. I see some like...
Right?
It's not just like a static like 2D card. It's got a little movement in there. It's kind of cool.
Like the art in this is awesome. Like the static art images contrasted against the pixels in the back.
Yeah.
That is... I love it. And I didn't get to showcase too much of this in the JRPG Weekly Update, but like, look at that.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's coming out on November 19. Again, PC via Steam exclusively, as far as I know. Okay, hang on. Who's okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't continuing to play in the background. So yeah, go check it out, guys. Toads of the Bayou, wishlisted on Steam if you want to, because I kind of want to. And part of me, I think it's the part of me that really liked the toads, the frogs from Ninja Turtles, really wants to see more of this in action. Because yeah, that's just cool. That's just.
I mean, I like it. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're delaying, but it's not by much. It's just a month or so. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. We have plenty of games to keep us busy as you guys will see in the upcoming release section. Because boy, we've got a couple of big ones there. But before we move on over there, let's talk a little bit more about delays. Because unfortunately, there's more than one of those. Course Party 2, Darkness Distortion. So not to be confused with the other Course Party 2. Because there's another Course Party 2 that's already out there that's not connected to this Course Party 2.
It has been retconned.
Yeah, and I realized the other day when I was talking to someone in our Discord that they didn't know that there are two different Course Party 2. And I was like, well, why didn't you watch HitPoint? What's going on? You guys know. We've talked about this. You guys know that there are two Course Party 2.
You guys have been in the know forever.
Oh, yeah.
People who watch HitPoint,
no surprises.
They're cultured, right? Obviously.
Yeah. But anyways, just to reiterate, there's that original Course Party game that I really like. And then they came out with the Course Party 2. That one, I don't think did too well. In fact, the one that's on Steam right now, if you go to Steam right now, go to Course Party 2, you'll find a different game, okay? I highly, highly do not recommend you getting that game at all. I bought it. I played it. It's unfinished. There were supposed to be more chapters. It's never happening.
Let me tell you, man. Things that do well and make money don't get retconned.
Now, this Course Party 2, very confusingly named is so that, you'll forget the other one, hopefully. I don't know. I feel like they're going to take the other one off Steam at some point.
I feel like people who bought the original should get a free upgrade to this.
Right.
If they're gonna call it Corpse Party 2, they should do that. It's only fair. Like you wanted to, you supported Corpse Party 2. Here's Corpse Party 2, the real one that we never
the actual one that we're gonna make. Yeah, they're never gonna do it.
I know.
Now this Corpse Party 2 is called Darkness Distortion. This is a whole different game. Not even the same setting as the one that's on Steam right now.
Yeah, this one's
not the same character.
Hospital.
Yeah. It's a completely different take. So
it's not a school anymore. This one's a hospital though.
No, they're both hospitals, but like the one on Steam is like a zombie outbreak kind of deal. Okay, I know. It's so okay. So the people are like possessed, but they end up acting like zombies, but they're not zombies in the sense of like flesh eating zombies. If that makes, I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
It's kind of a zombie-esque thing. But here is different. Here is like influencers infiltrating into a hospital and then getting stuck in there because, of course you do.
Oh my God. Could you imagine if this was inspired by a certain trip made by a certain YouTuber to Japan?
Oh, geez. No, they didn't even need to do that because there's a lot of Japanese YouTubers who ventures into dangerous places to try to get a hit. And that's
really?
It's a known thing that even Yakuza or like a Dragon has parodied. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing. Well, sorry. Enough talk about what the game is about. The bad news is that the game is delayed into 2025.
I'm not that surprised. Because, I mean, so far we haven't even gotten like a gameplay trailer, just a teaser. That was just like a few flashes of like stills and then like, ooh, some spooky stuff is happening in this hospital. And it's like, oh, that's cool, but show me some gameplay.
I'd love to see some gameplay. I think there might be like a gameplay trailer out there that maybe we haven't taken a look at, but it's
last
not
I looked for one
to go off of.
Because when I looked for a trailer for JRPG Weekly Update, because I talked about this too,
find one?
I couldn't find a new one. Yeah, but I didn't look that hard. But I tried looking for one that was released like in the last couple weeks and nothing.
Well, we know how much you love horror games, so we knew how hard you were looking for it for sure, right?
I liked Corpse Party 1, but that was pixels, and that's different.
Look, as soon as there's a new trailer, I'll let you know. I'll send it to you on Discord. I'll be like, here you go, Derek, because you love Corpse Party so much.
Thank you.
Make sure you're aware.
I'll
cover this next one too, so that we can get back to flow. So that is the delay again for Corpse Party 2. Darkness Distortion being delayed 2025. But you know what? I know that we're in the game delays section, but here's the thing: this next thing is so rare that we're not probably gonna start like a new section for it. So it's just lumped here. In the rare opposite of a delay, okay, things are going so smoothly for RGG Studio that they're pushing up Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, which is the game that stars Majima,
Yeah.
up a week. So, you know,
How does
rather
that
than
happen?
delaying, they're pushing the game up
Is this
a week.
a
Yeah.
relay?
Like an anti-delay.
What's the opposite word of a delay? Enlay? Prolay?
I don't know. Like, do we
I
even
don't
have
know.
a word for the opposite? of
okay,
delay?
well.
Early arrival.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
So it's been pushed up by a week. So the new release date for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, for those who just simply cannot wait to play it, well, you now have to wait 1 week less than you would have. It will be coming out in February 21st, 2025.
Awesome. All right. Well, you know, I'm sure it's just because things are going so swimmingly over there.
So smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just,
so
you know,
rare.
Ryuga Gotoku, they're just cut from a different cloth, you know. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to some of the upcoming games this week, starting with this one here from well, we haven't talked much about Sonic Frontiers lately, and now we have another new title starring Shadow.
Yes.
So Sonic Cross Shadow, Sonic X Shadow, Sonic.
I never
Key
know how
Shadow.
to pronounce the X.
Is it pronounce? I mean, it could be anything. It's just Sonic.
Maybe it's silent.
It may be.
Yeah,
Sonic
like Hunter.
Shadow Generations.
Sonic Shadow.
The game is interesting because it's a remaster and a new game kind of rolled into one. So parts of this game is the remaster of Sonic's 2011 Generations. And then parts of the game is a brand new thing that runs in parallel to the events of Sonic Generations, but seen from the perspective of everybody's favorite Hedgehog Shadow. So let's take a look at.
I like Hedgehog. I like that. Sonic the Hedgehog from now
Shadow.
on.
Yep,
Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow the Hedgehog from now on.
Let's check out the trailer and see what this is all about.
Okay.
Does Shadow have enough firepower to make this worth checking out?
The ultimate life. Welcome to the world, Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, they mispronounced it.
The H is silent. God.
It's like in hors d'oeuvres.
Black Doom. I destroyed you once. I will do it again.
He's so cool.
Where's the machine gun, Shadow?
That's
I don't
the real
recognize-
question.
You're not edgy enough if you don't use the gun.
I mean, hey, I'm pretty sure he's got rollerblades, right? And I'm pretty sure that makes him the coolest video game character outside of, say, Jet Set Radio.
Yeah. New abilities.
Oh my god, he has wings. So
If only it was one wing, you would be so much edgier.
the
you could be
question
like
I
Sephiroth.
have is Shadow Tuny?
Will destroy you.
Oh.
That's the question. Is Shadow Tuny? I think he
Shadow
might
what?
be. Tuny.
Probably not, given that the whole thing is already so fictional, I guess. It's hard to need this one.
Well, I mean, like this is Shadow was Chunid of Sonic, like they're like, let's take this Sonic the Hedgehog and make him dark and broody and edgy and deep, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And let's give him a gun because he's American.
Let's give him a gun. I mean, I like Shadow. It's just when they gave him a gun, I'm like, why
I know.
did you do that?
Well, maybe
make him edgier with a gun.
Do you think that maybe they were planning? Could you imagine like a Splatoon, but instead it's all Sonic characters with different kinds of, lead slingers?
I mean, I can imagine like, I don't know, like Valorant, but like Sonic characters.
Yeah. With blood.
Sega, don't take that seriously, please. We don't need another hero shooter with Sonic characters. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I mean, I would probably play it for the memes, honestly. All right.
I swear, if Sega releases a hero shooter with Sonic characters, and they have enough characters to do it.
Oh yeah,
all the OCs and
man, what's the name of the giant cat? Oh, they have so many. If you ever played Knuckles Chaotix, if you ever played Knuckles Chaotix on 32X, you'll know that they have so many throwaway characters that like haven't been touched since.
Just throw away and throw them in.
Oh man, there was so much potential in that game to be good too, and it just I couldn't get into it. Anyways, so
yes,
October 25th, 2024. Go get your edge on with I mean, if you feel like it.
Yeah.
On all modern platforms. Pretty yeah, Big the Cat. That's the one that I don't think they were in Chaotix, but they were in other things. Yeah.
No,
anyway,
there's this one Sonic game where they all wear scarves. Which one was that?
Scarves?
Yeah, they all wear scarves. It's like a young...
Oh, is that like the reboot one? Like they rebooted
reboot one. Sonic something. I don't... That's the one that had like the cat in it that you can play, right? I think.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think Big the Cat originally was though in like Sonic Adventure or something, or
Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom. Yeah, that was
Sonic Boom.
That was a TV show one, and yeah, I don't know. I don't like what they did to Knuckles in that one.
Next Generation? I don't know. Like it's Is there a Sonic?
You know what?
Sonic Next Generation.
Yeah, let's
Sonic Next Generation?
I don't know, man.
Do you even Sonic?
No, I don't.
God, you're not.
I stopped playing after Chaotix.
Yeah, I've never.
Knuckles Chaotix was the last good one.
Can I admit to you guys that I've never ever played a single Sonic game. I lied. I played one on the original Game Gear.
Oh, that was
like
fun.
That giant handheld.
Oh yeah, you pretty much caught it. Those are some of the best.
No, I mean not those. One.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
I played one.
Yeah.
And only one stage.
It's probably Sonic Chaos or something.
I got through one stage and the battery went out. And then we were out of battery.
Shame. Yeah. Well, you know what though? That totally is a fair point, because I'm pretty sure that even on full like high quality AA's, you could pretty much only get through one stage of Sonic on a full charge.
That Game Gear was such a battery drain. I don't know how. Like what is up with this thing that drains so much battery?
Some people thought that it was the console itself that made that made the Game Gear a rich kid's portable handheld, but no, it's the battery consumption.
It's the battery.
Yep,
it's the battery.
It's because the initial upfront investment, like sure, you could probably handle that, but like, can you feed it batteries daily?
Oh, the variable cost there is a bit high.
Yeah, that's a gas guzzler of a handheld. All right, I think you're up next though here, man.
Yeah, I gotcha. So we've got this roguelike card battling RPG called Card-en-Ciel from Intergrade that's coming out very soon. And rather than going on and on about it, let's just take a look at the trailer so you can know what I'm talking about first.
What are you talking about?
See it first before we talk about it.
All right.
So, as you can see, it is a similar battle mechanics to Mega Man Network battle, when you're moving on the grid. But it's also like a but it's also
But
got,
it's
like,
also got a
different
bunch of
parts.
waifus. So
Yeah, it's also got a bunch of waifus and husbandos.
what
Yeah.
more do you need to know?
So this is what I come to learn is that this is actually more of an Intergrade, like, cross universe kind of game. So there are different characters from different series from Intergrade over the
Okay.
years, and they show up as cards here, from my understanding. So you might see, like, Azure characters coming in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that's-
kind of cool. Yeah.
that does
so-
seem cooler. Yeah.
Yeah. It's made it more appealing for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've definitely taken a good amount of inspiration from Mega Man Battle Network.
I will say, like, there's so much chatter in the background from all of the cards that they're just like smashing through. Like, oh my god, I would probably, I'd have to mute.
Mute the cards.
I would have to mute it.
Yeah, there you go. This is one character from, like, Striker.
Yeah.
Azure Striker? Yeah. So this thing's kind of cool.
It's not my
Yeah,
jam.
you see Gunvolt? Yeah. Yep.
It's definitely not my jam personally,
Yeah,
but
there's another one.
there are definitely people out there who will appreciate this, I think.
Yeah. I mean, people who really like the Battle Network gameplay and want to try like a different take on it, this could be it for you. This could be your next favorite game.
You'll unlock 10 more
Yeah.
difficulties with challenging enemies and new
All right.
rules.
I
All right.
think we can.
Yeah, we think we can. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So that's quite enough there with you, Card-en-Ciel. Enough with your chatters.
I know. I'm like sitting here. Oh my gosh, guys! I was at a Halloween party not too long ago at my aunt's house, and she has not my aunt, my sister-in-law, who has a son who is my nephew, and just like all of the background chatter has like, it reminds me of like going over there and just like all of like the toys and everything going off all the time, and all of like the yelling from across the house and like all the chaos, and I'm just like, I can like feel just all of the background sounds there. I'm like, I am being overstimulated like aggressively right now. That's what this feels like.
I feel that.
Yeah, I can't handle. I cannot hang.
Yeah, I think the main game might. I mean, I don't know.
It'll probably be slower because it would be more methodic, right? You wouldn't just like mash all the cards real quick like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and especially because like if you're playing the game and you're controlling the controller, when you press that button, you have like, it's not being forced upon you so much as like it's coming. When you press that button.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a little different.
Maybe
Yeah,
so.
but we'll see. Yeah.
All right.
So that game is coming out on October 24th, 2024, releasing on all modern platforms.
Sweet.
Back to you, Mr. Derek.
All right. So I think that there's really two big games coming out this week that people are really looking forward to. And this one is coming from Falcom. And, oh yeah. The newest installment of Ys is here. Well, in a little bit. And it's looking pretty dang great. You want to just take a look at the trailer and discuss? All right.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I just saw this. Like, I need to play this. And look, some people have already been playing it because it's out in Japan, and some folks can't wait and they just have to play it like ASAP. Which I'm like, that's cool. But now it's coming out into the West and fully translated, fully voice acted.
That's right. I have to sneeze.
Ooh. So there's a solo mode.
Oh, I lost
where you only control one of the characters, I think.
Oh man!
And then there's the duo mode. I don't know what's the difference.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the control wise, like without having the controller in my hand and actually controlling it, it's hard for me to figure out.
Well, I
but I would love
imagine
to see it.
like if it in two player or not two player but two character mode, they would have to be synchronized, right?
Dude, local co-op would be crazy.
You know,
If they had local co-op of just like 2-player co-op,
would be
that'd
pretty
so
sick.
Yeah. And ship battles.
Oh,
I'm kind
man.
of like 50-50 on ship battles. They can either be like super awesome and well done or like absolutely terrible. I don't know which one
dude.
this is gonna be.
I actually really liked the ship battles in Suikoden 4.
Yeah.
Yep. Unpopular opinion. I actually really liked them. I mean, I think at a certain point, like with a certain strategy, there was no way you could lose. But
So, chronologically, guys, time to talk a little lore here. East 10 happens after East 1 and 2.
Oh my
so
lord.
We're going back to young Edo. Whereas East 9 actually is the oldest of Edo. Like it's like a decade apart between East 9 and East 10.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I think East 9 is like 27. I think East 10 is 17. He started
man.
his adventure at
27.
16.
Dude's practically 1 foot in the grave in anime years.
Oh
Like,
yeah, he's totally dying soon.
yeah, yeah. OG
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, he's an OG son for sure.
Yeah. So
So,
this game is going to be coming out this week on the 25th of October. It's coming out on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam. Falcom, we love you, man. Good,
yeah.
good going. Good going, Falcom.
They are releasing games a lot faster in the West now. There was a different article that I was going to include in here, but I figure I just run it through. And basically, it's an interview with Falcom, and they were saying, like, you know, their partnership with NISA has made it possible for them to release game, translate them a lot faster.
Yeah.
They were saying that it used to be that they would finish the game, release it in Japan, and then they would talk to NISA about translation, which is why it took so long. But now they've changed their workflow so that, like, even mid-development, they're already contacting NISA for translation. So that's the reason
Nice.
why, like, Daybreak 2 is coming out. Like,
Isn't that so
much faster.
exciting?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so stoked about that.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I haven't even finished Daybreak 1.
And Daybreak 2 is coming. I know. And East 10 is coming out. Like, what are you going to do? You haven't even started East.
I have played one of them.
Which one was that?
8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So,
Top-
what happened to the
Best
rest
East
of
I've
the-
ever played.
What happened to the rest of the series?
No, I figured after that it was no point. I played the best one.
You've already played the best, right?
Yeah.
There's
It's all
nothing
downhill
else
after this. Yeah, I played the good one.
Shame him! Shame this man!
I mean,
For he is a false idol fan.
well, that's rude. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah,
Ado. Yes.
Adel. Yeah,
Ado.
My brain is all addled.
It's false. Yeah, please East Origin. There's no Ado in that one. Okay. The next game that the one of the two huge games that's coming out. This one's got me super excited. Well, actually, I'm excited for both.
Yeah.
The complete 3D remake. One of my childhood title. Romancing Saga 2: Revenge of the Seven is
Ooh.
coming out this week, and I am just beyond excited. Let's take a look at the trailer so we can take a look
yeah.
at that. And I just want to geek out for a second, okay?
All right, sure. Let's do
One of
this.
two games that I feel the need to absolutely geek out over.
Oh dear,
Oh, that music.
there's partial nudity in this, guys.
Just partial nudity? What?
That's what the thing said. Oh, I think I see the it's the guy's abs. That must have been
That's gotta be it.
Yep, I saw
So
somebody's
these are like the
midriff.
These are the 7 heroes.
Yeah. So question: Were these scenes in the original?
No,
Okay, interesting. Because like
I think they want to make it clear who these 7 people are, because it's in the title.
yeah,
So basically, there are these 7 heroes who saved the world, and then they were betrayed. So now they're coming back to take revenge on the world, and it's such a cool and compelling story. Even today, like if you had a game like that, it's so cool that like these guys were like the people who saved the very people in the legend who saved the world are coming to kick your butt.
yeah.
And you have to fight against them.
That's pretty sick.
I love what they did with this game. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, what?
Did you know?
Square Enix, so you can do it if you tried.
It's the same. Did you know that it's the same team as the people behind Trials of Mana remake?
I know. That's why I'm so stoked, because they did such a great job with Trials of
Chef's
Mana
kiss.
that. So they can do it. So
Yeah.
Square Enix can do it,
And
if they
are.
wanted to make a good game, they can do it.
Well, apparently they have to make it in pixels first,
Yeah, they have to make it in pixels first. So
and then they give it to
maybe
this
that's
team
the thing.
to realize in full 3D.
Maybe that's the thing with Square Enix. They have to make all their games in pixel form first, in maybe 16-bit, and
That would-
then make it 3D.
That would probably explain
Then
the
that would be a
development
great
time.
game.
That would probably explain the development time of Kingdom Hearts 3.
It explains everything. Considering that, back in the Final Fantasy days, like Super Nintendo days, they were able to chuck out a game like in a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if they just prototype the game in 2D in Super Nintendo in a year, take that extra year to prototype, and then make the 3D? Then it would be great. We've
Yeah.
solved Square Enix's problem.
Hey. Except
We've solved their
except
problem.
There's no more pixel artists. They're all indie developers now.
Oh no.
Square Enix doesn't have it. I don't know. But yeah,
I like the
think
voice
the
acting.
art in this is incredible. The the voice acting sounded really good from what I
Yeah.
could hear over my own talking.
Whew. Okay, so the demo is out. This game will be out officially in October 24th, 2024 on
So you have-
PlayStation 4, 5, Switch, and PC via Steam.
You have
So, yeah.
one day to finish Romancing Saga 2 before you have to finish East 10. So
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
know.
so pick your poison, man. It's either you're going to be spending time. Well, actually, some people are still playing Metaphor. God, you guys are so slow. You should finish the game already. Come on. The game's been out for a week. You should finish that by now.
I was gonna say,
I'm kidding.
some people are so slow. Y'all should have given up halfway through by now.
Slow.
I'm just kidding.
Slow
I loved my
pokes.
time with Metaphor. I still need to go and play more of it.
I have not even started.
I know, dude.
I have not even started Metaphor.
I am in shambles at this point. I am so far behind everything.
Can we talk a little backlog trauma really quick? I have not had time to play The Answer for
Oh, you're not
P3.
missing anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the
That
answer
bad?
is it's okay. I don't know about the new DLC version of it, but
Yeah.
on PlayStation 2, the original version
Mhm.
was hot garbage.
Kinda meh?
I mean, no, not kind of
No,
meh.
not even meh.
It was a negative experience for me.
Oh,
Like, if you want to, I have a review dedicated just to the answer, and the synopsis, the TLDW of that is just go watch some YouTube videos if you really want to
But
know.
This is the remake. They completely.
They might have
redid
fixed
the
some of it,
thing.
but the
Yeah.
problem is it's still working with the same bones, and the bones were bad, in my opinion.
But
I
what
mean,
if they
this is
changed some
just
of the
my opinion.
bones?
I
Okay,
mean-
no, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, this is just my opinion, and I know some people really do like it, but
Mhm.
like ultimately, I think that the problem of it comes down to, and I'm not going to go into spoiler territory with this,
Mhm.
but ultimately the issue is that
Mhm.
nothing that the main character does in the original can possibly be seen as canonical. Like, who does the main character spend any time with in the game? That's entirely up to the player. It's the sequel problem, where anything that you might have done, any of the choices you might have made in the original, all of the character development, all of the cool stuff that you did with each of the main characters who are in the seas that like developed them character, like they have to revert back to like zero just in case. Just in case main character didn't spend time with that guy. So you're spending the whole second session with all these characters playing as like the worst version of these characters, like from a personality perspective. So like they're all weak-willed, they're all like giving up all the time. Like it's just the worst version of them after you spent so much time putting in like all the effort. Yes. Yeah. And ultimately, like, it just undercuts any meaning that, like, it felt like, oh, so this happened at the end of, and I'm not going to get into spoilers, but it's like, oh, so it all felt meaningless. Just like all of that progress, all the cool stuff that I did in the first game doesn't matter at all.
Memento mori, man. Like everything is meaningless.
I know.
Nihilism. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Maybe that's it. It just felt too nihilistic to me. Anyways, I don't want. That's my impromptu rehash of my review.
Yep. Sorry. So let's move on. There's Metaphor. There's East 10. There's Romancing Saga 2. And more games to come. December we got what is it called? Neo Fantasian.
Fantasian Neo Dimension.
Fantasian, yes. I can never remember that name. So many games.
It's like Fantasia and Contagion.
Fantasian, yes. Yeah, it's too many games. So prepare to have your backlog grows.
Dragon Quest 3.
DQ3, HD2D, yep.
Yeah.
Someone came to my channel. I stream, by the way, on Twitch, guys. Shameless plug. But someone came in from the show and they were like, hey, I watched you on HitPoint. I'm like, hello. And then they're like, do you have plans to play DQ3? Or like, no, it wasn't even a do you have plan. It was, when will you play DQ3?
That's a good question. Baku, when are you going to play it?
Yeah. And I said, probably not anytime soon. And then they left. They just really wanted me to play DQ3. I'm so sorry. Like, whoever it is that I have disappointed, I just want you to know that I am very sorry that I've disappointed you with my answer. It's just, if you heard what I just said just now, there's Metaphor. There is, Romance Saga. There's East 10. There's all these, Trails game I haven't played. All the Tales of games that I haven't played.
I know.
I'm so sorry, but DQ is kind of in the back of the list for me personally.
Because we played the original.
Happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah. What's also really weird is a lot of people have like come up to me and they're like, hey, what are your thoughts on Dragon Quest 3's drama or the stuff going on with that? And, And I'm like, what drama are you even talking about? Like, I was just so far removed. Like, I can't. I went and looked up some of it, I guess, and I'm just like, I can't afford time to be mad about this. Like, it's
so stupid.
Anyways, so let's talk about other cool stuff coming out that was announced. Where's my button
recently,
for that?
Yes.
Yeah, recent announcements.
Yes.
New games. That's the one. There we go. So, all right. Dungan Entertainment and Labs. I'm sorry. No, it's Labs work.
Labs.
It's all caps. LABS. Labs work announced a new 8-bit side-scrolling action adventure called Lovish. It's like Love, but ish. It's not quite like ish. It's a little bit more than like ish.
Yes.
Anyways, it's like the middle school version of Love. Anyways, the player takes on the role of Sir Solomon as he fights through the Devil Lord's castle in order to rescue Princess Tsuna. Okay.
Yes.
I actually have no idea. I've never heard of this. And so I'm probably just needlessly making fun of
No,
just.
no. I think the game makes fun of itself. It's actually perfect.
Oh, really?
You should. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think you might like this.
Oh,
one.
I hope we have to check it out then.
No,
Let's check out
I
the
think you
trailer.
will like this one, Derek. I threw this at you for a reason.
I will rescue you soon, princess, and I'll keep you all to myself.
Okay, so it is love-ish.
Ish.
I thought it was supposed to.
So it's an action adventure game. Kind of like one of those old school action adventure games from like the
Oh yeah,
early 90s.
yeah.
I
Like,
really like. And like when you
oh,
go
look
through
at that!
these doors,
The animated little potion there. That's cool.
Yeah, when you go through these doors, they're random events.
Mario
and
2
then sometimes
throwback
you're
there.
presented a potion, you can throw it and it opens the door. You're like, what? Other
Dude,
times
that's-
you owe
that's
taxes
kinda-
and you have to pay taxes. Like
That's
what?
kind of East-ish. That like the it's like the PC, the old PC games.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yes.
Dude,
that's cool.
I like the little humor because like there was a time back in
Oh.
the 90s when like oh
Oh, so Snake.
there's a time back in the 90s where like games really don't take itself too seriously. Like okay, for example, this is
Yeah.
obviously like some kind of medieval thing like
Sure.
oh, I'm rescuing the princess.
Wonder Boy. Yes, that's
Wonder
exactly it. Thank you.
And then this guy here, like one of the random scene that can happen when you go through a door from room to room is you can owe back taxes and then you have to do some stuff. But yeah, but it's medieval. Yeah, but they don't care. They're not taking themselves that seriously. It's like it's just there for fun. There are all these little gags in there. I kind of miss those days where we're not so like, oh, is this strictly, accurate to the time of the period of which this game, this high fantasy would model itself after. I do believe you're off by 2 years there. See, everybody is a historian.
it's
now,
funny. Well, everybody's a historian when it suits them.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, let's. You kind of brought up something that kind of reminded me of another news story that's not on our list today. But when you mentioned owing back taxes, it reminded me of Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
What?
So there's another game, the sequel, Turnip Boy Robs a Bank. That has actually got they've announced recently that it's going to be coming to iOS and Android, which is pretty sweet. We don't have the trailer prepped for that, but yeah, we know some people like to play on their phones since they don't have access to consoles. So hey,
Yeah.
that's a thing right there. Yeah. So anyways, Lovish. This game is
Lovish.
planned to release in Q1 of 2025. So like springish.
Yeah,
Hey, Lovish and Springish.
Springish.
On PC via Steam. And there is currently a demo available now if you want to go
Yes.
give it a shot. So go
Yes.
over there, download the demo, add it to your wish list, and support the kind of stuff that makes me giggle like this.
I like these games. They're simple and you know what? More than the music and the aesthetics, these little random chunks of humor, that's what really brings me back to those days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the thing that a lot of these like retro inspired games is missing. Like, no, you're missing the little like 90s gags that
Yeah.
you have to experience it to know. They're like senseless fun. They make no sense. Why would the hero suddenly owe back tax? Like
Yeah.
what? Like,
Or why would like even Final Fantasy VII, which people feel like is dark and broody, it's like no, that's full of jokes and humor, and yeah, it's very very fun.
the whole cloud cross dressing thing. I'm so glad that they
kept
did
it.
that pretty. Yeah, they did
Yeah.
it justice in and I'm sure it was really hard to do.
I'm sure.
Going from like a tiny polygon figure to like a full, not just a full 3D model, but like a very detailed 3D model, but somehow make him convincingly cross-dressed. That's gotta be really difficult. But I think they did it pretty well. So I'm glad. In any case, that's my rant for the day for a lot of these games. Guys, if you're going to make a retro-inspired game, just make sure to look into these gags. That's what really brings us back to those days. Anyways, it's time for something brand new. Oh, this is exciting.
Brand new? I don't know.
me.
Do I like
Yeah.
brand new?
Konami. Yeah, that Konami. Can you? Wow, I know they're announcing a new game. Now it's not a pinball machine. Oh,
Wait a
my
second.
God.
And we're talking about it?
Konami, yes.
And
that
we're talking
Konami.
about it.
We're talking about it.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Be still, my beating heart. What? Okay. Continue.
Konami just announced
I'm bracing
that they'll
myself.
be developing a new 3D open world action RPG. What? Konami making a new 3D open world action RPG. Not only that,
Yeah.
this game will be based on the space fantasy manga Eden's Zero from Hiro Mashima, whom you may know from Rave Master and probably more likely Fairy Tail. So the manga from Fairy Tail. Yeah, he made a new manga after Fairy Tail called Eden's Zero,
Yeah.
which actually they're anime out now already. So this is the game that's based on it as a tie-in game, and it's going to be a 3D open world action RPG from Konami.
Konami is making
crazy.
an action RPG. Like, just distilling it, Konami is
Konami.
making an action RPG.
And that action RPG is a new title, new IP that's not based on their old IPs.
Okay,
I
let's check
know.
out the trailer.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
curious
yeah,
about
yeah.
this. This is
I know.
I okay. Let's
That
see.
Konami. Yes. At first I saw that, I was like, this is Bandai, right? Like this got to be Bamco. Bamco does this like this. But no, it's not Bamco, it's Konami.
Wait a minute. This doesn't look like crap.
Yeah.
This looks kind of like it
Kind of good. Yeah.
maybe has potential to be. I mean, it's got some spinny action RPG stuff, you know, the modern trappings of. But
It is a tying game, so I'm going to hype responsibly because
Yeah.
tying games tend to not be great. Oh, look, not Elsa.
I like the texture
Not
on the.
not Gray.
I like the textures that they've like sketched onto to make it
Yes.
look.
Manga-y?
Yes,
Yeah. It's nice.
I feel like that's something that gets lost sometimes in the transition.
That's right, guys. It's not Natsu, not Lucy, not Urza, definitely not Urza, and definitely not Gary. Okay,
Well.
so last time I made that joke, someone's like, "Excuse me, is Gray?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's a joke. We keep calling him Gary. I apologize. It is a joke that carried over. So I have to let them know now that this is just an inside joke. Yes, we know his name is Gray. We just like call him Gary because he's funny. I'm sorry. But anyways, yeah. So again, this is Eden's Zero. The game is slated to be released sometime in 2025 on Xbox Series and PC via the Microsoft Store. Now, here's the thing. This
Oh.
game was revealed during the Xbox partner preview. So there's a pretty good chance that this game is going to be available on other platforms. It's just that has not been confirmed by Konami, so I can't report it to you. But at least for now, it is on the Xbox Series and PC via Microsoft Store.
I'll just chalk that up as reason numero 2 to hype responsibly on this one. I mean, it's probably coming to other things.
Yes, no, it's probably coming to other things. I
and-
think they
and you
just
know
have
what?
the exclusive, pre whatever thing that they can tell people about, and like you have like, you
Mm-hmm.
agree to not announce it for other things so that we can have this little hype.
Yeah, I
One
mean,
of those
I'm good
things.
for PC also, but this is something else. I guess ties into another discussion I actually had on, and maybe it wasn't a discussion, but on Twitter. Oh gosh, maybe I should there was also another. I think this ties into a few different things. Okay. And I think I'm just going to shift gears a little bit because did you already talk about like when is this coming out and all that? Did you already talk about all that?
Sometime 2025. Yes.
Okay, because I'm going to go off on a tangent for a minute.
Go off on a tangent. Do it.
So it's. I mean, I'm not going to go off. I'm not. No,
just pop off, Derek.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
We've lived long enough. You can pop off whenever you want. You've earned it. Go ahead. Go on a tangent.
I feel like we built this up too much now. Okay. All right. Tell you what. So the other day, when we were talking to Joshua from God, the creator of that game, 8-Bit Adventures 2, Critical Games. My brain is not great, but I got there. So when we were talking to Joshua from Critical Games, we did talk a little bit about the limitations that are imposed on people when they try to port things to Switch, and it was really interesting and fun being able to pick the brain of a developer who, like, well, I guess they outsourced it. I guess they said to bring it over to the Nintendo Switch because that was out of their depth. Because it was just so much going on that had to be done. It was just really interesting being able to like hear about that because we'd kind of suspected that at this point, the Switch had some interesting hardware limitations and other things that just made it a little harder to develop for. Or to port for certain kinds of games, that is. So it was nice being able to talk to people about that. But there was somebody in the comments who, and I don't remember who this is, and they did mention they're like, I just don't know why you gotta, harp on the Switch like that sometimes. And my initial gut reaction, it was like, well, I don't remember harping on the Switch, and I think that's what they were talking about was when we were kind of emphasizing or digging into more of the details of what made porting to the Nintendo Switch harder. I was like, well, I didn't see any. And my main overall response was something to the effect of I didn't recall needlessly like dogging on the Nintendo Switch, but more so needlessly dogging on the Xbox because I feel like that's sort of like that's just sort of like my old easy like. I don't know, throwaway joke that I can just use at any given point because I have
Xbox?
At no point needed an Xbox to enjoy playing the games that I want to play.
That's true.
But this does tie into later on. I got another message on Twitter about how we're always kind of going off on dogging on Xbox sometimes, and they're like. And they mentioned how like they listed a series of like 5 or 6 really good games that are coming to the Xbox consoles, and I'm like, maybe I should stop, just randomly shitting on the Xbox and its various iterations. Like I have a history with the Xbox. A little bit. I mean, when I say history, I mean like. I used to love playing all kinds of games with my friends on like Nintendo 64 and Smash Bros on GameCube. And, we played like Ready to Rumble Boxing Power Stone on the Dreamcast and stuff. And then like the Dreamcast went away and we were like, one of my friends got this weird console from Microsoft called the Xbox and it had this game on it called Halo and I just didn't like it, but it's all my other friends would play for like 5 or 6 years from then on, just nothing but that. And like I felt so left out of my friend group because I didn't jive with like the those kinds of first person shooters around the time that they really just started blowing up. So I think not to get too like psychoanalytical of myself, but I feel like part of me just has a little bit of pent up animosity toward the Xbox and
That's
Microsoft.
Interesting.
I know. I've been thinking long and hard about like, why do I hate the Xbox so much? And I think it's because I had a really cool friend group and we always used to play games together. And then ever since the Xbox came around, I've just like not been into that at all. And maybe maybe that's one of the reasons I play a lot of single player games on my other consoles. Cause I don't know, cause the Xbox made me fall out of love with multiplayer gaming because I don't like first person shooters. Wow.
Now tell me how that makes you feel.
I feel like playing RPGs, you know. Anyways, long story short, all of this, all of this side discussion is to say maybe I should be a little easier on
Gentler on Xbox.
Well,
Good
maybe I
old
should just
Xbox.
stop needlessly dogging on the Xbox. I'll dog on them when needed,
Yeah.
and it will be needed sometimes.
Yeah,
And I'll be
every
ready and
company
willing.
needs-
But
yeah,
I'm gonna stop just randomly throwing shade for no reason. I think that's that way when I do throw shade,
It
when I
means
do,
more?
it means more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want my
Not
shade to
frivolous,
be
right?
especially cutting when used. There we go.
Uh,
That's my side tangent aside.
It's actually surprising how much I don't care about Xbox. Like, I just never care. It's just a thing that exists that I never need, and it's just kind of there. Like I never.
I mean,
Never thought to myself, you know what I need to get to complete my collection? An Xbox.
it just
There's
feels like
nothing.
it feels like a worse version of playing on PC to me, as somebody who has a PC. Like, and it's usually decent, more or less a decent rig that's been
Yeah.
upgraded
Yeah.
within the last couple of years. Like,
Yeah.
whereas Nintendo, like, you kind of have to have a Nintendo thing to play the Nintendo games. I mean, you
Yeah.
could emulate it, but I always feel like feels jank, and
Yeah.
an emulation kills my drive to play games.
Yeah.
I don't know why. More psychoanalysis for another day, I think. But
How does that make you feel?
like playing single player RPGs on physical media on games that I actually own. Actually, I should probably say it makes me feel like because I haven't played any games in a while.
Hmm.
And how does that make you feel?
Disappointment. I
I know.
feel resentment towards Derek for not playing more games.
You know what?
Especially
you could
in
have
East.
you could have made me play an East game instead.
No, that would not. No. The people. It's not my selfish wants and needs. Okay, it's about
Yeah.
the people. It's about the viewers. I know them. They want to see you play a horror game. Okay.
All right. I mean, the offer's still open. I'm just saying, if you want,
No.
Okay, fine.
No, I already bought the game. It's over. Okay, like you're playing it.
You can buy me other games, Baku. It's okay.
No, that's it. That's all you're getting. You're not getting out of this one. No, you don't play. You're gonna play Silent Hill 2. You're gonna like it.
All right.
Hey, listen. At least it's Silent Hill 2. It's not like I'm forcing you to play like a horror version of I don't know, Quest 64. It's like Quest 64 but horror, which I'm pretty sure exists somewhere in the ether.
Castlevania
Castlevania is actually good
on
Hold
64
you're
on the
about
Nintendo
to-
64. It's
Oh, I
not
have no
actually
idea.
very good. It's pretty
Oh.
bad from what I hear.
But anyway, Silent Hill 2 is incredible. I can't wait to play the game. It's so atmospheric. I've been watching some folks play it because I don't plan on playing it this year at all. Like, I don't have time. But I've watched people play it. It looks incredible. And I'm like, we're so back with Konami with this one. Like, I didn't think they had it in them. But apparently they did. Right? And same with the developer team, because apparently, the previous games were like okay horror, but this one is like they really put their heart and soul into this one. The little details are the kind of things that I associate with like Persona or like Atlas. When they do the menu, it's like super stylish, and it's like like, oh wow, so you could do a map like that it's so intuitive and it feels good playing the game, despite being in a horror setting. It feels as good as you can be in a horror setting anyway, a psychological horror. So I will wish that you will enjoy that experience, Mr. Derek.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to join me for it if you'd like. We could.
We're all going to enjoy your enjoyment of that game.
Do you want to be on stream with me so you can like tease me and stuff,
No.
or no?
No.
It's just gonna sit back and enjoy your popcorn while I. Okay.
Mhm. I don't want to work overtime, bro. Like, I'm just gonna sit there.
Yeah, well.
I'll be in chat, but
All right. Cool.
Anyways, are we ready to move on with the
Yeah.
industry news? Because we got a little bit of industry news. I got a little bone to pick with Square Enix coming up, but first, back to you, Mr. Derek.
Guys, let me tell you something. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a pretty dang awesome looking little
So cool. It's so
AAA
excited.
looking RPG.
Mhm.
But what if I told you that even with its 30 plus hour main story RPG, they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg for this one?
Yeah.
From the developer on Twitter, they say, we've seen a few questions regarding the price and expected playtime of Expedition 33. We are a small team with an indie spirit, and we are creating something that we believe is truly special. We aren't a AAA studio. So even though I said they look AAA, they're not a AAA studio. This is our first game, and we want as many people discovering our world as possible. To be clear, we poured all of our hearts and souls into this game. When you play Expedition 33, you can expect a 30 plus hour game and as much side content for our completionist expeditioners. Pricing that you see from your local retailers is accurate, which by the way is $50. And we can't wait for you to get your hands on the game. See you in spring. $50, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's for what looks like a game of this caliber.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's wow.
That's the other game that I really cannot wait. If you told me last year, okay, that a French studio will come out and say we're gonna make a JRPG, didn't mince words. They didn't say RPG inspired by Japanese classics. No. They came out and say we're gonna make a JRPG that will blow your socks off.
Yeah.
I'd say you're crazy. No,
you're crazy. It'll never happen. You can never
French
do it.
Studio? No.
Oh God,
But
no.
apparently, 2 years ago, me was too naive to understand the reality that, in fact, anyone around the world can make these incredible turn-based, not even just a JRPG, turn-based JRPG. It looks incredible, and I cannot wait. The story is intriguing. Like the backstory, they talked a little bit about like the lore.
Yeah.
It's got me hooked, man. Like it's got a really interesting worldview. I can't wait to see more. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, these last couple of years, we're seeing a couple of JRPGs coming from France, which is really surprising, and they both look really good. I can't recall the name of the other one off the top of my head, but that's all right. So
They'll
that's
come to us.
yeah, that's awesome though. See you in
Yes.
spring, guys. From Obscure, Expedition 33. That looks very
All
exciting.
right. Now, this is definitely a topic that I'm taking because Mr. Derek hasn't played any of the Nier games or Drakengard. Shame.
I played Drakengard 1.
Oh, did you really?
Oh yeah, way back in the day on PlayStation 1
Oh.
or 2. It was oh yeah, I got to destroy all the grotesqueries.
You're slightly forgiven.
Thank you. I played the best one. It was all downhill after that. I assume.
So, okay. So, for the uninitiated, Yoko Taro, you guys might have heard this name at some point. This madman of a director.
He's the moon man
He-
with the moon face, the
yeah,
mask.
with the moon face, with the Mio mask. He is the genius behind Drakengard and the Nier series, which are interconnected in only the most hilarious ways. When people ask me like, how are they connected? I'm like, well, you see it in, well, except for Drakengard 2, that has nothing to do with them. But Drakengard 1, there's like a bad ending, and then the bad ending leads you to Tokyo, and then that is the beginning of Nier. So like the joke ending of one game leads to the beginning of another series. And then the sequel of that is 10,000 years in the future, which is only some things that Yoko Taro will pull off, and like no one else would do a game like that. But they are, successful in their own right. They're a bit of a cult classic. Nier Automata, I would say, is like universally acclaimed. It's no longer a cult classic, like a cult, like niche game, but
Yeah.
rather like a mainstream success. And credit for Square Enix for keep backing these projects, because they are, I mean, they didn't sell particularly well. So the fact that they keep giving him money, it's actually pretty incredible. But in any case, I mean, it's not just Yoko Taro. I forgot the music director's name. Like, he's also like incredible. I
Couldn't
cannot
tell
remember
ya.
his name for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in any case, just want to give credit due. Now, here is the industry news part of thing. So there's this website, okay, called the Accords Library. Okay, it is a
Okay.
fan website that is dedicated to preserving and translating many of the connected projects by Yoko Taro. So the way
Okabe.
that Yoko Taro works is that he's this like very eccentric guy. He has done, you know how like we kind of complain about like Final Fantasy 15 doing all these like different things, like multimedia, whatever, to understand a story.
Yeah.
Yoko Taro does that, but he doesn't do it for money. He does it because he just feels like it. So there's like a stage play on Nier Automata that is, canon. There is a concert that I had to go to that had like a canon expansion to the ending to Nier Automata.
I remember
There are
that.
novels. There
I remember
are
that.
all kinds of things that this dude does, because like he doesn't like doing the same thing over and over again. He just want to do different things, like take on different media. Like, so he's like that. So I kind of respect it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs different kinds of creative medium. But also because of that, that lore gets really
Convoluted.
expanded into different things. I don't know if it's convoluted, but at least it's hard for a Western fan to get into, because a lot of these things are Japanese exclusive, like novels exclusive. That they're not making any money off of it, so there's no, they're not going to hire a translating team to do it, right?
Yeah.
So like there's the plays, that never in any American theater. They're only in Japan. And I don't mean like a movie. I mean like a stage play with like actual people acting these things out. Okay. And they're all canon.
Yeah.
So the website, Keiichi Okabe, thank you so much. I got the Okabe part in the back of my head, but like I forgot his first name. Keiichi Okabe, thank you so much, guys. Yes, that's the musical genius behind like the Nier series, especially. Love them. So it's up to like a fan website really to preserve and translate these, so that us, a Western fan, is easy to go to one place and be like, you know what, I absolutely love this stuff. I want more of it, but it's just so scattered. Thank you. The word is scattered. It's so scattered
I see.
that
Yeah.
it's so hard to get, but it's all in one neat place. Now it's doing a lot of fans, so much so that Yoko Taro actually thanked the creators of this site for being able to, just concentrate these lores into a single place for the Western audience, because he can't do it himself.
Yeah.
And there's no monetary incentive for Square Enix to put money into doing these translations, right?
This sounds really, really
Sounds
awesome.
like- yeah, sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
Uh,
Yeah, you see, I did say that I have a bone to pick with Square Enix today. After I was so happy about, you see this roller coaster thing with Square Enix is back again, guys. It's back again.
hey, Baku, are you clicking something?
Oh, sorry. Yes, just now.
Okay.
So here it is. Okay. Accord's library will be closing down on October 31st after being contacted by Square Enix legal team.
Oh.
Let me just and can't say that I am too happy with Square Enix right now. It's just like, oh, you Square Enix, God, I want to be so nice to you, but you just always find a way. You always find a way. You always just when I want to be celebrating you and be happy with you, just gotta. Anyways,
I think
here
that
is-
part of
yeah.
I get part of it is that because they have to enforce their copyright or they risk losing it. But also,
yeah.
this is not it, Chief.
This is not the way they should have done it.
No.
I would think. Well, let me read their like letter out, and
yeah.
then we can talk a little bit about like how we think they should have handled the situation.
Sure.
Yeah. So, from the developers of the Accord's archive, Accord's library, which is actually a play on of this character named Accord, who is the archiver in the series. These past few years have been a pleasure. But we regret to inform you all that we've been contacted by Square Enix legal team, and after some private communications based on the outlined requirements, we have come to the conclusion that Accord's library must close its doors by the end of the month. While we are sad to have to go, we also must respect the wishes of the legal team. The library and gallery will remain open for the next 2 weeks and will officially close on October 31st. We hope to continue spending time with you all and other fans in the future through our Discord server, which we plan to keep open. So there is that, guys. There's the Discord server. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Go over there.
Yeah.
On behalf of the entire console of Accord's library, we sincerely thank you for your support and friendship over the years. We hope that you will continue to use the Discord, and though we understand if this is where we part ways, from the very bottom of our hearts, we'll be forever grateful to everyone who's volunteered their time to help build Accord's library into what it was. Thank you to all of our transcribers, translators, and most of all of you for sticking with us. Take care of yourselves out there. From the council of the Accord's library. Ooh, God. Oh, God. So angry. I'm like fuming just reading this passage.
Yeah.
Not fuming at the developers
No,
of the website, of course. No, this. Okay. So, Husa. Yeah, can't get mad at me for dogging on Square Enix no more. I've got my rifles loaded again.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think they should have done, Derek? You know, in a more PR friendly manner, let's say.
Oh, bring it under their own hosting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just say, hey, would you guys like to, if you'd like to continue doing this, would you like it to be sanctioned by us? You know, we'll pay for the hosting on our site, but we can't, you know, allocate any funding to the efforts, but we'll give you a space. What would that have been the best way? Yeah, I think so. I think that would have been like, just, you know, it would have been so inexpensive to do that. I could have done that. Like, oh yes, I can buy a domain for you and give you my copyright and put you under our umbrella. Sure. That would be one way to avoid the entire issue of copyright enforcement, is to sort of crowdfund making a lore location. Like, that could only benefit your future sales, I would think.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's the only reason why you're protecting your IP. No, I mean, to your point, hey, I understand why they feel the need to protect the IP. I mean, we've talked about it many times. If you don't protect your IPs, if you don't take action, if you basically let it happen, then that's basically, you know, saying that you don't care. You have to act like you care about your IP. You have to take action. That's the only way to protect your IP. That's the way that the legal system works. So we don't blame Square Enix for taking action. It's more like, what action are you taking that we're taking issue with? And
so here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like when you think about a company the size of Square Enix, and let's say that my idea is the best way, because honestly, that would probably be the ideal way to handle this from at least our perspective. Through what mechanism does this occur? Because I can't see a way that conversation would even happen. What I see happening is Square Enix, mega corporation, legal team finds out about a unsanctioned thing, and what does legal team do? They do what legal team does, and when what you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, you send a C&D. Like that's how that happens. Like they didn't go talk to Yoko Taro. Oh, Yoko Taro, here's this thing, and it's very multifaceted, and they're saying, nope, this cannot exist if it's not made by us. Therefore, it may not exist because it is not made by us. Not how can we make this made by us? Not how can we bring this under our umbrella? It is instead just end it. And it's
doesn't this remind you of like Falcom versus like what is it? Who are the translators for
Geofront?
Geofront.
Like that would have been the way. Yeah.
Yeah, like Falcom's like, okay, we're not gonna
Nisa, I think it was really Nisa who took that step. Falcom is great.
Combination of them. I mean, Falcom had to agree to it. Like they're not in the blind. They're not saying, Lisa, just do whatever you want. Like they all came to agreement. Hey, you've already done all this work. We need this work. So why don't we just bring you guys in, and so that this is an official thing? Like, all credits due. That's how they should have done it. And all the fans, like, just God, have you learned nothing? All the fans were like, yay, go Falcom, like you did the right thing. Like these people worked really hard on it. They don't necessarily want money. Like this is not a monetary thing. They're fans. And for them to have been part of it, it's gotta be pretty cool. So you made the right choice. And I think even people who weren't like, and included in it, who have heard about it, they're like, yeah, this is great PR. This is the polar opposite. This is like, here's the thing, right? These fan websites spring up and they become popular, not serendipitously. Like or rather, it is the fact that there is a market need for this, right? Because as I mentioned, the source material is so scattered and so disjointed in different media, and so unavailable to Western fans, that this website even exists and is popular because it has value, right? And to not see that value, but see it as a threat, you got to see it as an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
As a company, you have to look at that and say, this is not a threat. This is an opportunity. This is not a risk. We got to see how we can utilize this to make us better, right? But they didn't do that. And that's what's so frustrating, right? So these people put years into work in this. Many fans depend on this for like the source of information for a very beloved franchise. And they just nuked it because they couldn't figure it out.
I wouldn't call it nuking it because at least it's not like effective immediately. You can no longer access our website or any of our resources. It's really, you have 2 weeks to get what you want and to offload that onto whatever hard drives you might need. Which is great. It is good that you have time to archive that stuff. So they didn't go scorched earth, but they did ultimately take a route that will result in harm and to a, especially like just bad PR. Like this is not going to save them money. It may cost them money.
This would do nothing for them. This
Yeah.
is not a competing product by any means. These are all, a lot of the translated things are things that wouldn't be available in the States or in the West anyways. Now, if they have plans to make them available in the West, well, maybe take action then. Or again, just bring it in and, you can omit anything that you like because now is within your domain, is within your control. You can go in and you can edit these things, right? Like it's
Yeah.
fine. It's just it's insane to me. It's just it's just so backwards of a business decision
It's
that
very
I am so
unnecessary.
disappointed in them for
It's
doing.
it's unnecessary but not unprecedented. And this is just, chalk it up as corporations doing what corporations do. Because once
Yeah.
you have a company that is run as a corporation, it is no longer run by humans being humans. Like, like it's
But
instead
didn't you know that
machines.
corporations are people, sir?
Yeah.
Corporations
Cogs in a
are people,
machine, man. Cogs in a machine. So let's go ahead and shift gears here a little bit to to some discussion topics that we have here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's one more.
There was one more. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go
This
ahead
one
and
is quick. Or
right.
maybe quick. It might not be quick. We'll see. This last one is fun. So Unknown 9 unknowingly got released into the wild. I actually didn't even know the game got released.
the aptly named Unknown 9.
Unknown 9.
I don't know what it
I
is.
had to think about what it was. Unknown 9 Awakening. It was that game where like they did the mocap of like the lady from The Witcher 3 and she's like the lead character.
You talked about it last week and I don't remember it.
Yeah, Bamco's publishing it. It's supposed to be like a multimedia project. They even
Oh,
talked
that
about it.
one.
Oh, we can have comics. We can have this. We're gonna have podcasts.
Yes.
We're gonna do this and that. Oh, it's gonna be so much stuff, guys.
Oh, that.
That one. Yeah, I hate to inform them, but it's not doing great. The game peaked at 285 players on Steam, not 285,000, not 2,850, 285. That's less than 300 people
I
played
was gonna
it.
say, don't forget the 5. That's a significant percentage of the players.
No, that's not a significant digit right there.
You can't round on a number that small because it affects your percentages. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to rag on them, but it's just I didn't think it was. I don't think they did this game like justice, like the way that Bamco had like talked about the game. Like they front loaded all these things without making it very clear what this thing is even about, and then they just came on too strong. I just thought about it; they came on way too strong. They're like, here's a new game, and boom, podcast, and,
Well, hold on.
comic, and this and that. Oh
I
my
mean,
god!
they did all these
what is
things.
this game all about anyway?
But they never, they did all these things,
Mhm.
but outside of our podcast, I'd never heard of it. So,
Isn't that insane?
yeah, like,
Yeah, it's just I feel bad for the developers. Like they worked hard, I'm sure, in putting no developers go into work and say, you know what, I'm gonna make a subpar game today. You
Yeah.
know, like they put work into it. They don't have a choice in what they're necessarily making all the time. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about like individual developers. Okay, at this point,
Yeah,
not
the
like
people.
the company developer. Yeah,
yeah,
but like individual developers, like the rank and file, you know,
Yeah.
like
like you want them to
they
be able
had-
to. I mean, I'm sure they all got paid for their time, but
Yeah.
it would be nice to have something nicer on your resume than
exactly.
a game that, because they spent like the last 5 years working on a game that peaked at less than 300 less than 300
not
players.
Yeah,
is-
and it's a very public thing in the industry. You put it on your resume, everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But I think this kind of serves as a reminder of how not to release a game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
It's like yeah,
More eggs in more baskets.
Yeah. Or better yet, and this is my plea to any developers out there, make a good game first, then talk about other things.
Yeah.
Make a good game first. Get us invested, then we can talk about other things.
All right. Speaking about talking about other things, let's switch to those discussion topics now. All right. So now this is what I wanted to talk about a little bit earlier before. So just another recap. We talked about it a little bit at the top of the episode, but we unlocked an achievement here on the HP Pod channel here. 500 subscribers now on the new YouTube channel, which is pretty exciting. Monetization, for those who are curious, is still kind of a work in progress of being unlocked. It's going to take probably, I hope, less than a couple of weeks, but yeah, it might take a little while because, you know, it's like government work, basically. Silent Hill 2 for PC has been acquired and will be streamed on the HitPoint podcast channel on YouTube sometime before Halloween, maybe on Halloween, depending on how things go, but probably the weekend before, you know. And as far as like our current plans for the podcast, I think that I think it's going to be departing the SuperDerek YouTube channel.
Sad.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's sad, but it's also not. So anyways, everybody over on SuperDerek channel, thank you for watching there. Please be sure to also watch on the HP Pod channel. I've got a linked pinned comment in the chat at the top there. Because soon it's not going to be here anymore. This is not the end of the HitPoint podcast. It is just being moved. And there's a couple of reasons for that I don't think anybody's super curious about, but you know, there's a variety of reasons, some of which include just the fact that I think YouTube doesn't fully understand the impact that new features it introduces can have on its video discovery algorithm. So we'll probably put that on its own. So on the bright side, though, I think I might have talked about this before. Just comparing the analytics from one channel to the other, the number of people who are watching on the HitPoint channel are just watching way more, way longer, and that's sending some positive signals to YouTube. And it's starting to share HitPoint podcast with other people organically, and that's really wonderful. As opposed to everybody who just watches SuperDerek for, you know, the 10-15 minute like news recaps or reviews. So because I know that those are distinctly different audiences sometimes. Not everybody's here for like a 3-hour video. So yeah, that simultaneous streaming situation gonna come to an end here gradually. I'm thinking either this will be the last stream or maybe the next one, because this is also episode 99, and you know, episode 100 would be pretty sweet to have on the main channel because that's where it all started, and you know, big round numbers are nice.
Oh boy, yeah. It's super. Can you believe it? It's the 99th. Right now, you're watching the 99th episode.
I know. And if we assume that like each episode is an average of 2.5 hours or so on average, which is, I'd say that's probably pretty accurate. What could you do with let's say 250 hours? Like what could you play? Could you have finished the Trail series in the amount of time to listen? I don't think so.
Well,
but you could finish a few games.
1 hour is 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not 250.
What did I say? Oh, you're right.
Because you said 2 hours and it's 1 hour 60 minutes. It's a lot more minutes than you're quoting us for.
Oh gosh, you're right. Okay. Let's do some math here. Okay, so 2.5 times 60 is 62.5 hours total. Only 62.5 hours to. Oh wait. What am I saying?
I'm so confused now.
I'm confused. I was an art major. Okay.
Anyways, it's a lot of time.
hours times 60 minutes is 150 minutes total per episode times
100.
Times 99.
Oh, 99.
Oh,
That's how many minutes.
okay. And then that's how many minutes. So let's divide that by 60 again. Okay, so 247.5 hours.
Yes, many hours.
I said about 2.5 hours or 250 hours. If you go back, if you rewind, I'm pretty sure I said 250 hours.
Yeah, you did. I was.
I'm smart after all.
I was messing with Derek the entire time.
You son of a.
I got him. So I was laughing the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, he's still going with it. I'm like, no, yeah, do the math there.
So yeah, Matt, what could you do in that amount of time? I don't think you could play all of the Trails games, but I think you could finish at least a couple of them.
Yeah,
maybe you could 100% your way through the Trails in the Sky
Catalog?
series for sure. Trails in the Sky
Can
for
you?
sure. Trails in the Sky? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Just
Trails
1,
in
2, and
Sky
3.
Easy. Yeah.
Probably even Crossbell, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not
Ooh.
Cool Steel though. That's
No.
things are, yeah.
No, each of those is like 100 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still, my stomach's churning just thinking about how long those games are.
Dude, you've got to play them though. They are nice. They're good.
I think people don't understand. People who don't stream don't understand like the trauma that we get from really long games. Like just the thought of having to stream 100 hours of a single game.
Oh,
like,
I don't even find that daunting.
makes me nauseous.
I understand though, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, man. I mean,
But
no, it's not a joke. It's true. One bite at a time.
so you want to eat an elephant?
Yes, that's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And that's cool. Like it's just you just it doesn't affect how long I play the games for.
Yeah.
Like I mean, at least not in like session duration, but like in terms of like how many months I'll be playing that game on stream. Yeah, but
Yeah. It's I think to me anyways, this is the difference between playing it off stream and playing it on stream.
yeah.
That's the difference. I think I can stomach any amount of hours off stream, but on stream it's very different. It's like, oh god, this thing is still here. It's like, hey, you're still playing that game? It's like, yes, I am still playing this game. But yeah, I need to get to, you know what, Derek, you know what we should do? If
What's
I
that?
played, we should do this thing. I did this thing to a couple of streamers before. If I stream X, you will stream Y kind of agreement. I think we should do something like that. If I stream, let's see, my next one is Crossbell. I have the games already too. You should totally get into Ease. More Ease games.
Tell you what.
Relatively short.
Tell you what, I accept. All right.
You accept?
Okay, here's the first one. If I play Silent Hill 2,
No, no, that's not how negotiation works, sir.
all right.
It's like, I'm already paying you this, but if I were to pay you the same amount, you will give me more things. No. That's
Oh, dude,
not the agreement, sir.
I am the king of negotiations. Let me tell you something. I had a brilliant idea the other day.
Okay,
I went and
tell
I
me.
bought a cool camera, and I'm not going to tell you about it just yet. But I got a pretty cool camera, but it's like $500.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm like, I don't want to pay full price for this. So I checked Amazon, and it was pretty much full price. And I checked eBay, used copies or used versions of them were like still over 400. I'm like, this sucks. I go to the website, and they're like having a little bit of a deal, and it's like $75 off. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. But what if at checkout I found a promo code? And I was like, all right, let me just try Honey, see what that does. It didn't find anything. Honey hasn't found shit in the last few years for me. I remember when that used to be good. Yeah, they're not a sponsor either. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Imagine that.
But Honey hasn't found anything for me in the longest time. But you know what did work? You go onto YouTube and you look up a sponsored video and you check the description for like enter promo code whatever for 20% or for 10% off your order. And so I went ahead and I did a search for the camera and then sponsored video. And I went into the description and I found a promo code for like,
Get out.
yeah, I got another like $30 off.
Wow.
So I got it for under $400 for this $500 camera.
Wow.
All and free shipping.
We gotta talk about that later. I need to know what this is.
Oh, you got to know it. It's gonna be so perfect for my over there camera videos. It's gonna be nice.
Camera.
It's gonna be very nice.
Okay.
So that's something I'm really excited for. But yeah, best negotiation ever. I was like, I'm already gonna buy this, but I'm gonna pay less than they intended, and I'm not gonna watch this. Yeah. I broke the system, I think, and now you know how to. So
there you go, guys. The bargaining tips from Mr. Derek.
Yeah,
and you know what? It works.
Always looking for the better deal. You know,
I mean,
why pay more?
You gotta save that money, man. Those are hard-earned dollars, and
dude, I mean, money ain't what it used to be.
That's for sure. This inflation's hurting everybody.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Well, so those are the main like discussion topics that I wanted to talk about as far as like the main channel is concerned and the future of HitPoint. But I thought it might also be fun to kind of catch up a little bit on what we've been watching lately.
Oh my god, the anime talk, not the
Yeah.
anime talk.
Yeah. Cause I mean I've been watching some pretty cool stuff lately, guys, and some of it is anime, some of it is not anime. Some of the things I've been enjoying are audiobooks, and I'll talk a little bit about that too.
Audiobooks?
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually been pretty wild, but yeah, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because as Baku and I were wrapping up not yesterday, but last week's episode, he told me that Ranma half has a remake going on, and I'm like, what? Well, that's crazy, because Amy and I just watched Dragon Ball Daima episode 1 last week, and I'm just like, oh, well, that's kind of a neat little sort of 80s anime sort of revival mashup kind of deal, because Daima is basically, I mean, episode 1 I've only watched, and I suspect it's going to have some pretty strong Dragon Ball vibes, like or OG Dragon Ball. But then we went ahead and watched some Ranma half as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, I found copies of them on the internet with a Google search, and I mean they just came up, and we got to watch them without ads. It was great.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just what I wanted to talk about. How have you been enjoying Ranma half? How far are you into it?
I think only 2 episodes came out because
I've only seen the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like super new.
It's currently airing, right?
Yeah, it's currently airing.
I think there might be 3 by now, because I know that there were
maybe?
2 episodes before.
Maybe 3. I haven't looked yet because, as I mentioned, I went to a wedding yesterday, and then today I just basically wrote HitPoint, and then now we're here. But afterwards, I plan on going to watch Rama. That was my plan for the evening. After HitPoint, I'm gonna go watch some Rama.
Dude, I'm really. I've only seen the first episode, but I'm very like it feels really faithful to the original. But like it looks really nice, and like the animation quality just seems like so much higher, you know?
Okay, let me tell you something funny, right? Because Rama's on Netflix, and I don't watch Netflix at all.
Yeah.
The only reason I have a Netflix account is for my mother, who watches Korean drama.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I only got it for her. I got Netflix to appease my mother. That's it. I don't watch Netflix myself. But the other day, she's like, Rama showed up because I watched it on the account.
Yeah.
So she was like, she was going through, she was flipping through, and she found Rama. She's like, why is Rama on
on my Netflix?
on Netflix? I mean, now of course my mom knows what Rama is. In fact, my mom is a fan of what's her name, Takashi Ruriko. the person who the mangaka
Yeah.
for Rama. There are other works that she's done that aren't martial art related. I forgot what it was called, but there's this one manga from way back that is like a love story about this lady who owns like kind of like an apartment complex living space thing, and then it's like the stories of the tenants in there, and it's like a love story. And my mom really liked that one. So yeah, she's no stranger to Rama, but she's like, why is the Rama suddenly popping on Netflix? What's going on? I'm like, oh yeah, there's a new season of Rama. She's like, in 2024. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
in 2024, mother. So she watched it. She sat down, she watched it, and then she said, how come the art looks so old? And I'm like, mother, please, like,
Oh my
why
gosh.
are you insulting them for no reason? I'm like, dude, no, the animation quality's gotten so much
Dude,
better.
the fighting, like it's such a the fight scene between Ranma and the I was gonna say the panda, but you know who I'm talking about. That was so well done.
Yeah.
Like it was so fluid and like you could see it all. It was very dynamic compared to like, I mean, no shade meant toward the original, but it was not an action, anime,
Mhm.
but it looked like one in the episode 1, that's for sure. Like all the fighting around on the poles in the hot
Yeah.
springs. Oh, that was so
By the
cool.
way, I found a name to it. It's called Maisen Ikoku.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I had a friend who, I mean, sort of friend. I had an acquaintance on the old Bulbapedia forums who used to really like that.
oh yeah, I remember it. It was a really good like Numiko work that was in Rama and not Inuyasha. Like, yes, guys, she totally did works that didn't involve any fighting whatsoever. No supernatural
Lame.
anything. Yeah, she
Yeah.
totally had done works like that in the past. They just didn't hit as like they weren't as popular. They weren't as big hits
As mainstream. Yeah.
as mainstream. Yeah, but it was definitely a great work. Just like Akira.
Toriyama's.
Wait, yeah,
Like Slump.
I mean, like Dr. Slump. That's not technically like a fighting like oriented. I mean, Arare just does what Arare wants, so
Yeah.
there's no fighting her. I think that there's like a crossover between Goku and Arare wins.
Oh yeah, in Dragon Ball
so it's like-
Super, yeah, there was a fight between Vegeta and Arale, and she
Yes.
destroyed him. It was pretty great.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, non-canon, but Arare is one of the people who like beats Goku hands down. He had no chance against her, which is hilarious. But anywho, so Daima. Speaking of Daima,
yeah.
yeah.
Did you see the
Daima-
first episode yet?
I thought Daima has some like GT energy.
It does. It definitely
Yeah.
does. But
Yeah.
it's, I mean, because it starts off with like this goofy guy wishing that Goku was a kid again. I mean, except now it's everybody's a kid again. And I thought that's going to lend itself well to some really goofy stuff. Like it seems so stupid. Like you can already tell. It's like, oh yeah, that's how you wish for the super strong dude to no longer be super strong, is to make him a kid. Like no, he's just a super strong kid again.
I just hope that they can bring back like Dragon Ball energy.
I think they
I
will
do.
because they
Like-
worked hand in hand from the beginning with Toriyama on this
Mhm.
for a long time. Like
Yeah.
it's not like one of those situations with regular Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball
Mhm.
Z where they were building, building the train tracks as the train was right. Like it's really more so he made the story, and this has been his jam lately. Like I think he was
Mhm.
burned out by
Yeah.
Z
Oh,
and
the
all of the subsequent like
Ultra Instinct and
Super, and yeah, I think he was first and foremost a comedy mangaka. who happened to also just find that he was really good at
He
other
hated
stuff.
Z. He's gone on record to say he hated. Well, he didn't hate Z, but he hated.
It was draining.
working on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very draining.
Yeah. So I think that Daima is kind of like him trying to return to, his roots
Return
with
to form.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see where this goes. Now
Yeah.
again, I've only seen the first episode. I need to locate the second episode, which came out, not too long ago.
So there's a recent Dragon Ball game that came out that's been making splash. Sparking. You know what I'm talking
Sparkling.
about?
Oh yeah, Sparking.
Sparking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of Sparking, I've been watching some Dragon Ball video just to catch up on the lore and because I've missed so much.
Mhm.
Like this whole just wow, just so much. Like the entire Dragon Ball Super thing I have not watched. Like I have no idea. So I caught up with the lore. I was watching some of these things and GT was slightly disappointing to me because when it first started, I thought it was going to be like Grand Ole Fun Adventure with like a grown-up Trunk and Pan, and it's going to be like more fun. But then even maybe even a little bit before midway, it's just kind of gotten back to
More Z.
power overdrive and just world threats and just right back to Z. It's
Yeah.
gone right back to Z.
But without
at
the
least-
leadership of Toriyama in any way as well.
Yeah. But at least with GT, Super Saiyan 4 is still one of my favorite transformations because it's just so different, right? I like it. Some people didn't like it. I liked it. I really do. And then I was reading on the Super stuff. And I knew Ultra Instinct. I joke about it, but I didn't really know Super Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
So I was reading about Wiz and the God of Destruction, yada yada.
It was
that whole arc,
interesting.
and then
Yeah.
all that stuff. But then I come to this thing where they have Super Saiyan God, which is just basically him with red hair.
Yeah.
And then you have, Super Saiyan Blue, which is him with blue hair, and then Super Saiyan it's not Super Saiyan, but just Ultra Instinct, which is just him with silver hair.
Oh,
So I'm
and you're
just like,
forgetting
yay, different color hair.
and don't forget Rose. There's
Rose, that's the bad guy only.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad guy only
so-
colors. And then you have whatever Trunks was, where he was split between
Goku Black
Yeah.
is the one. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's another Goku clone. And then it's just I felt
it was
tired.
fun in the moment. Well, while watching it week to week, which Amy and I did, it was fun. It was fine. It wasn't great, but it was all right. I am still a little miffed that they did Boo dirty like that. that was such a bad psych out. It would have been great to have Boo there.
No, I mean, because the way that I look at it, I compare this to I compared this to other shonen work, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you think about other big shonen work, Naruto, One Piece, if any of those manga that aren't Dragon Ball had just keep changing their hair color as the power up, people would flip.
I
But
know.
because it's Dragon Ball, we will let it slide. It's how I felt about it. And you know what? It's fine.
That is its thing.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just, and that's the reason why I like Super Saiyan 4, because it was so distinctively different.
You know what's kind of funny?
Yeah.
Is Masako X. He's the voice of Goku in DBZ Abridged. He has his own YouTube channel. Who's it's really great. It's all Dragon Ball kind of theories and stuff. He has an entire series of videos talking about the different philosophies of what each of the colors of Super Saiyan means from not a lore perspective, but from drawing from different cultures and stuff to kind of work backwards to find ways that they are representative. It's fun, but it's man, there's so much content out there about Dragon Ball Z at this point.
I just saw someone going what's next? They're gonna have a Super Saiyan Green, and then Broly came out.
Yep.
It's did you call? It's hi.
Well, what
And this
about
whole thing
second
is
Broly?
Green. I'm oh, there you go, legendary.
Don't forget
Super
about
Saiyan is gonna
Don't
be
forget
green
about
now.
Caulifla now.
Oh yeah, there's Khalifa. Yeah,
Yep.
fun
So-
stuff. Yeah. So Daima is refreshing. I'm just please just stick to the fun. I'm so tired of this power, like
Power scaling.
power scaling,
It's
and
so
next
broken,
level transformation. I'm so done with it.
Based on like the opening sequence though, and some of the trailers for the season, I really do feel like they're aiming to kind of make it feel more like going on an adventure again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think that the original Dragon Ball did so well back in the day.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
I mean, short of going to Namek and Z, there didn't feel like much adventuring to be done
No,
anymore.
everyone keeps invading Earth. That's
Yeah. At a
it's
certain point,
always
they
an
just
Earth
come
crisis.
to you. Yeah.
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 Namek, I think Namek was the only time when they really flew out there, and well, it's not until like they had the multiverse thing, but
and even then, it's just
yeah,
kind of like, oh, now we're just floating in space.
yeah.
So
So
yeah.
it's not like exploring a different place. No, I love Namek actually. That was like the peak Dragon Ball Z for me. Cell
Yeah.
game, I didn't. I hate Cell
Oh,
game.
Cell
but I
was
didn't
good.
care for Cell game.
it was
I
fun.
didn't care for it. It was all right.
Then again,
but then
I think I'm
afterwards-
thinking of my time rewatching it through the lens of DBZ Abridged, which
Mhm. What happened after Zell game? After Zell is
Boo.
Zell is oh, it's Boo. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And
I
then
think
the
Boo
end.
is when I start falling ill.
Well, that's
was
the
like,
thing is Boo is kind of like Toriyama's attempt to return to the comedy manga with
Yeah.
like the goofy evil villain being Boo, who just eats the demon lord Dabura, just like turns him into a cookie and just eats it.
Eats it. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's some fun, but
Yeah.
also, yeah,
The fusion
it
dance
didn't
is
last.
fun.
It also didn't last that long.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see cool stuff with Daima.
My favorite thing from it is actually the fusion dance. Love the fusion dance. It's still so memeable. Even today, it's still a very
yeah.
memeable thing.
100%. So one of the other things that I've been watching lately, though, is
Mhm.
it's not an anime, but it is RPG related.
Oh, okay.
The Legend of Vox Machina season 3 right now. They're
Wait, what?
Legend of Vox Machina. It's on Amazon Prime, and it is based off of the Critical Role Dungeons and Dragons podcast, where
Oh,
all
okay.
of the players are voice actors from like
Mhm.
really popular things that you've definitely heard and played before. So like a lot of anime voice actors, a lot of video game voice actors are all part of this D&D like podcast where they live play on Twitch, and it's I think the biggest or highest grossing Twitch stream on all of Twitch by like not an insignificant amount. Anyways, it's super engaging. At this point, they've been going for about 10 years, and their original campaign is being turned into an animated TV show. It's so cool. And that's what Vox Machina is. And it is, we're watching their season 3 right now. We're about 9 episodes in and have really been enjoying that. It's going off the rails.
I think my friend would really like that because my friend's been following their D&D game for a little while. I don't know how long
yeah.
he's been following them, but if it's turning to an animated series, like,
Yeah, they've
Crazy.
already got 2 seasons out, and they have for a while now.
Okay.
But season 3 is shaping up to be really, really good.
Huh.
It's like a very abridged way to kind of catch up with the first season, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, go watch it, guys. I give it my full endorsement if you're
Yes.
looking for something to watch. But I know that Baku, that's kind of outside your wheelhouse.
Oh,
So
it's okay. I like hearing different. I mean, the viewers are certainly resonating. So
Oh, yeah.
there's that. Yeah.
now here's one thing
uh-huh.
though it's completely unrelated to anything else, but it has also been absorbing a lot of my free time. And that's an audiobook series. It's Brandon
Oh,
Sanderson's
right.
Stormlight Archives.
Mhm.
I'm currently on. Well, I'm on Rhythm of War right now. Which is like book number 5 or 4 or 5, something like that. It's really good. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Go check it out. It's like if Lord of the Rings was an anime, or like a like specifically if it was Ronin Warriors. But it's like a really awesome fantasy setting, very intricately detailed, like how things work. It's definitely a high fantasy sort of book series. And I mean
cool.
anime, and like as far as like the cool stuff that the characters can do is very anime, like being able to like fly around, wield giant swords that can cut through anything, super powerful armors. You know, I feel like in just a few more books, that's probably going to turn into mecha. You know, at this point. but for the time being, Stormlight Archives, I cannot recommend them highly enough. I've really been enjoying them.
Nice. Well, we're all waiting for the SuperDerek book club. I mean, yes, there's the JRPG club, but you know, like book club proper with SuperDerek.
Sure.
is
I
gonna
think I just started it. Everybody, you have some catching up to do, because these are some thick books. But I'm glad they're all in audiobook form right now, because I just like I've been listening to like 2 or 3 hours before bed every night. Like after the lights go out at like 10, I like listen for a while, and then like I put my phone away and it's like, is it really after 1 o'clock? Oh my god, I have work in the morning. But it's been nice.
Also, I have to say, Derek does like them thick. So, you know.
Well, you know,
Talk about the books.
gotta
Just talking about the books, guys, please.
If it's-
Literary books.
dude, if it's under 60 hours, is it even worth playing? All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? Or is there anything else that is currently absorbing your free time? Since we're indulging just my random hobbies at the moment.
I haven't had time to catch up to a lot of things. School is taking a lot of my time right now because my second class just started. So I have 2 classes this semester. One of them is a full semester class. One of them is a half semester class. The half semester class just started, and it's I think the professor is kind of like all over the place, so it's just been kind of rough trying to catch up on it. So I'm gonna be a little busy for a little while, but otherwise, no, just catching up on life things. Like I said, went to a wedding. A friend had their first dance, and the first dance was it a house moving castle, like that
Oh,
walls?
neat. Yeah.
And they did a proper waltz with the box step, and I was very impressed. They had
All
they had
right.
gone to a teacher, instructor,
Mhm.
who had actually taught them professionally how to do the walls, and she was super strict with them too, which is hilarious.
Gotta
They're like,
love it.
no, you will not make any mistakes, not under my tutors. You will perform the most perfect of first, and they did really good. So
Awesome.
apparently they've been practicing for like 3 months, which is crazy. It's just for one dance. Yeah, but they did well. So yeah, no, nothing too crazy going on. Just enjoying. Oh yeah, that's right. We moved to Blue Sky, by the way, for some of you guys who didn't know. Like we
yeah.
moved over to Blue Sky, so we have an alternative. So maybe, you know what? Maybe this is a call to a lot of the indie developers. If you guys also moved over to Blue Sky, please be sure to connect
us
with
know. Yeah.
Derek and myself. Let us know that you moved over, and so that we can keep following your news in case we don't see you on Twitter, and for everybody else too. And really just celebrating our 500 subscriber, well, over 500 now
Milestone.
on HitPoint Podcast,
I know.
which is crazy.
Absolutely
We're
nuts.
gonna plan something fun for the 100th episode. So that's the surprise for you all, because what comes after 99 is 100, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do something fun.
We were
we
gonna make this a short episode too, so we could talk about it after the show.
Yeah, we can
That didn't
still
work
talk
out.
a little bit about it. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. All right.
Anywho.
Well, let's go ahead and I think let's talk about some of the comments from last week, because we did end up skipping that. Well, you know, we rearranged things. So
Yes.
I'd like to kick things off just by letting people know that we still have that voicemail number. It's 785-337-3805. However, we don't have any new voicemails this week.
Oh no!
But if you want to, you could call that number and leave us a number, or you could also just send us a voice file to hitpoint@superderekrpgs.com, and we'll play it on the air as well and respond to that.
Right.
But for the time being, do you want to take this first one here, man?
I gotcha. Oh, right. This very first comment is coming from Lamasis2, who says, sorry, can't watch you. Playing Metaphor. I respect your honesty.
Yeah.
Hope you're having fun with Metaphor.
For real.
Remember, our VOD is available in case you are busy playing Metaphor. You can always watch us again on the VOD at the HitPoint Pod channel.
Yeah.
The previous episodes will be removed from SuperDerek's channel, but they are over at the HitPoint Podcast channel. So if you want to leave any comments, it's better if you leave the comments over there because then it will still be there.
Yep.
So please consider leaving your comments there.
You won't really have a choice anymore here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
But
at least for these next 2 episodes, so I can find you guys, please leave them over at the new channel.
Yeah. So this next one is kind of a follow-up to some idle banter that we had at the beginning of the last episode when I was talking about Obsidian and just kind of how I've been going down the rabbit hole. So Ian Boyd says that Obsidian isn't actually open source, but it does keep your data in open formats, i.e. markdown, which is a really important distinction. I didn't really have a whole lot written down when I wasn't expecting to be like, oh yeah, this is Obsidian. But today I did come prepared because Obsidian is actually a markdown-based note-taking app that allows users to create a network of interlinked notes together, enabling a sort of, well, people say second brain sort of system for organizing ideas and knowledge.
Yeah.
But what makes it really unique is its ability to visualize connections between those notes in a kind of graph or kind of like a network view. Like you can see like how they all kind of interconnect with each other and such.
Oh, wow.
And then you can transform your notes into, this web of ideas and knowledge for management and research and personal productivity. And also it supports tons of awesome plugins. So you can pretty much make it do whatever you want it to do, even if it doesn't support it natively. I've been putting all of my D&D campaign I've been playing through into it, and I've like integrated a map system. So like I'll click on the name of a town and it shows me where it is in the map. And like I can see its location relative to other towns, and I can pull up like a list of the NPCs that I met in that town, and I can link from those NPCs to the specific quests that were active, when we were doing these things. So like, yeah, I have very intricate notes on D&D on this world that's homebrew from my DM. He's putting in so much work into this world that I figure I should probably be putting in at least as much effort into understanding and trying to learn about it. So
Makes
yeah.
sense.
So anyways, Obsidian, it's sick. Go check it out.
All right. The next one we've got here is from Matt Weltherly, who said, so I'm waiting for the Intergrade Edition of Rebirth. You know what,
Yeah.
Matt? I don't think there's going to be Intergrade Edition of Rebirth, but I do anticipate on them having the story so far edition of Remake, which is Final Fantasy VII, which is to say they're going to
maybe.
just bundle everything together prior to the
So
third
the
game
final.
coming out. I can imagine that. Like they'll just bundle the remake, Intergrade, and then the second game, Rebirth, into one thing for maybe like PS6, and then the third game will just be its own thing. And then a couple years down the road, they'll just bundle the entire thing into one solid collection for you to play, plus some like bonus things. I don't know. And this is just based on like Square Enix's like MO. Like
Yeah.
I've seen them done stuff like that for like Kingdom Hearts. So
Well, they've
they're
done it
definitely
once.
gonna bundle them together. Yeah.
But the story so far on Kingdom Hearts was like it was like covering 10 different games that they had released. I don't know if they could do a story so far with like part of the Final Fantasy remake.
They'll find a way.
Yeah, they might. I
They'll
don't
find
know.
a way. It's a way to double
Oh,
dip.
maybe
on the
they could
game.
include the Crisis Core remake as well then. And like,
Yeah, they totally can. They
Mhm.
totally can. Yeah.
yeah, maybe they
'Cause
would then.
it's
I don't
canon.
know.
Because Zach has way more of a presence in this like remake with this new continuity.
Oh,
So it
well, don't
kinda
tell me
makes
too
sense.
much because I don't want spoilers.
Oh, well, just expect more Zach.
Okay.
So Zach's story would be more relevant, and the game is already there. So why wouldn't they double dip? Like
Yeah.
it's just another way to make that same money again. If I was Square Enix, I'd do it. To be honest, but also there's a lot of people who don't want to hunt down individual copies. I just want this whole darn experience in a tight, like
Yeah.
in a neat little bow, and just
It would
play
be nice to
through
have
the
it in a
whole thing.
collection for sure.
Yeah, a collection.
I would
Yeah.
I would probably prefer to have all 3 of the games. It sounds like it's going to be a
Mhm.
trilogy, right? Or
Yeah.
or maybe the 4 games including
Yeah, 4
you know,
games.
including Crisis Core remake. It would probably be nice to have them all in a single collection, but that
Mhm.
probably won't
Yeah.
happen until maybe a couple 3 years after the third
Like
one.
2-3 years.
So if you
probably.
wait another 20 years, it might be ready.
It's gonna be on PS6. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be
Yeah.
on PS6. Maybe
Maybe-
Switch
maybe-
2. We'll see.
Maybe Switch 7 or PS7 or
PS7.
yeah. I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
So this next one comes from a YouTuber called Chicken Fillets,
Okay.
who says that Joshua is the man. By the way, if you're not familiar with Chicken Fillets, go check him out. And yes, it is. I'm pretty sure they pronounce it fillets, not fillets. So it's they said. Oh, by the way, really fun RPG YouTube channel. Guy has a I want to say Scottish accent. I don't know for sure, but it's one of those accents that I love to listen to, and it becomes slightly addicting. Like, and I start like thinking in that accent for a while, and it's terrible. I it makes me want to speak with that accent, but I can't. It's such a beautiful accent. But anyways, Chicken Fillets says that Joshua is the man. Talking about our episode last week, he says he was the first game developer that I spoke to. Such a great guy. Went full circle being able to review and play this game. Excellent interview. Well,
Nice.
thank you so much, Chicken Fillets. I very much appreciate
you.
that. And I want to do more of these sort of interviews with indie developers. Like, ideally, it would be really cool if Baku and I's HitPoint podcast could be, a way for you guys to find incredible indie developers and to find their games and to help us find awesome indie games and help them find audiences.
Yeah.
I think that ideally that's like such a, if I can help the community in that way, man, that just makes this so much better, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that could be like the value add, for the community,
yeah,
right?
kind of
Yeah, 'cause-
giving back a little bit and
yeah,
just that makes me happy. So anyways, I'm glad that you enjoyed that interview. It's so fun to get to talk to these guys and pick brains and yeah. So
yeah. We'll definitely get more of those.
yeah, we've actually already got another couple maybe lined up. So
at least 2.
yeah,
But if there's anything coming sooner than that,
I kind of want to reach out to the Toads of the Bayou. Kind of want to reach out to them, but I don't know. We'll see.
we'll see.
So we do have a super chat that came in here during the show. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and take a quick look at that, and then we'll call it a day. This one
Yes.
comes from Still Alive. They said, I just finished Visions of Mana. They said, Baku, where would you rank it among the other Mana games?
Oh no! Don't do this to me.
Do it, you coward. Oh, well, okay. Before you just like place it amongst the other games, what are your overall thoughts? Like positive, negative, like love it, hate it, mixed.
Very mixed, very
Very.
mixed feelings. Like if you go by like Steam rating, you know how it's like overwhelming positive, positive, mix, negative, overwhelmingly negative,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm sitting at mix. Like if I'm just one person who just dictates, it's mixed.
Okay.
Um,
So there was good and bad.
yeah,
Okay.
there's definitely goods and bads. And it's one of those situations where find myself having to forgive it for a lot of things to the point where I am wondering if I am being more forgiving because I like the series and not because the forgiveness is well deserved.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I feel about like there are these little bugs everywhere that little tiny bugs everywhere. At one point, my spellcaster that I like controlling the spellcaster,
Yeah.
the spellcaster cannot cast any spell. And I'm like, hold on, did I get muted? Which is like a in-game
Yeah. Status
status,
effect.
but
Uh-huh.
it's not because if I was muted, there would be a little icon and I wouldn't be able to select the spell. But I select the spell, it costs the mana and then nothing happens. Okay,
Oh.
so I'm like, so there are three characters in the
Just
battlefield.
just
You get to
didn't
switch
kick off.
between them,
Yeah.
right? At will. So I switched to another character, command the magic, like cast the spellcaster to cast the spell, then it works. So clearly, this is not some kind of status effect. This is just like a bug.
Yeah.
But I have no faith in them fixing said bugs. And there are,
Well, it's hard to fix a
tons
bug
of
when you
these.
don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, there's that. And there's so many of these little bugs, and they're always just that they're small enough that it feels petty, but
Yeah.
they're big enough that like
They
it
add
kind
up.
of like hurts the experience, right? Now you add 50 of those, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's hard to just like not point them out at this point.
Yeah. But
And
what would you say
yeah.
was some of the good though? You know,
Some of the good, I think the good comes from the character design. I quite like.
The art,
Every
okay.
character has different element, like I would say armor, but like element, that they can
Affinity?
equip on themselves. And when they do
Okay.
equip the element, their armor or clothing changes, right? So it's like a whole new design for a character, which is really cool. But you only really get to use 3 of them at any given time. So, and yeah, it's just there's just a lot of designs that like you may never really see.
Yeah.
So kind of a little mix on that one. I mean, it's cool, but realistically, how many of these will you really see? Given that you control 3 of them, you have to keep switching them in. On the plus side, though, each of the character have different attributes and different things they do well in. So it tries to encourage you to mix and match the team a little bit.
Mhm.
But what I find in reality in gameplay is that first of all, the game is so easy that like you can pick any 3 and just stick through the entire story. You don't have to change anything. It is not a challenging game. It's not until like you get to the post game where it's actually hard enough that you want to start like min-maxing a little bit. And even
okay.
then it didn't take long to min-max and
So,
just did it in one go.
Better
on hard mode.
better than Dawn of Mana?
Dawn of Mana
PlayStation
is the
2?
first game, right?
No, Dawn of Mana, PlayStation 2.
Oh, God. Anything is better than Dawn of Mana. No, we don't. No.
Okay. Better than Children of Mana on DS?
I've never played it.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. Better than let's see, I'm trying to think of like in ascending order from like worst to best.
I would say it's kind of in the middle. I didn't play the first one.
You didn't
but
play Final Fantasy
I would imagine it's better than the first one.
You didn't play Final Fantasy Adventure?
No, I didn't play Final
Ooh.
Fantasy Adventure.
Sword of Mana on Game Boy Advance?
Because I started with Secret of Mana. That was my
Yeah.
first thing.
Did you try Sword of Mana in Game Boy Advance? It's the remake
No.
of. Oh, it's
Because
good.
I've played so little games on handheld in general. Yeah,
Hmm.
like if you ask me, did I play?
You might be
did I
missing
play
out on
X
that one.
on handheld, huh?
Yeah, you might be missing out on that one. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a remake of the original Mana game.
Well, I have the
There's
the
some
Mana
guy on YouTube who has
collection.
weird hair. He made a video about it a while ago.
I have the
it's a
Mana
cool thing.
collection, so it has the first 3 games in it, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's there. Like if I really want to play it one day, I can just like bust it open and play it. But I imagine this would be better because the first game is probably more rudimentary. So it's not fair comparison, but it's probably better.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Secret Mana, I think. I think Secret Mana, I like Secret Mana better. I don't know if it's nostalgia, but definitely not as good as Trials of Mana. Not too far from it, and it's upsetting because Trial of Mana, they just did a remake of it not that long ago, so they have the blueprint on how to do it right, and then it almost felt like they just did it at first surface level, but like didn't care to look at how polished that was at release, and then just shoot something out that resembles it, and then hopefully no one would notice, but like we play through it and it's all these bugs come out. It's like yikes. Oh god, the frame rate, like whenever it switches to animation, it just drops
down
to
to
30, and
30.
it's extremely jarring. Yeah, it's extremely jarring.
I think there's
why?
You told me that there's a fix for that on PC, right? Like
I
a
think
fan mod?
people made a fix on PC, but
Yeah.
if you're PS5 like me, you're beep out of luck,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was extremely jarring. Like the very first opening video, I'm like, whoa, what happened? It's just like
Yeah.
blur. And like, what the heck? And then it went back to really crisp battle, and then it's like really quick, like battle animation, quick succession, because they're trying to tell like a intro story. So it's
Yeah.
like, ooh, crisp battle, blur, and then crisp battle, and then god, not again. Yeah, it was extremely jarring beginning. Legend of Mana probably better than Vision of Mana, still, and then you got Dawn of Mana. Nothing is worse than Dawn of Mana. I
Okay.
don't think that's possible.
All right.
So there you go.
So-
That's my ranking.
So Secret of Mana also had some bugs. Still better, you
Yes.
think?
Oh, by far,
Okay.
by far,
All right.
by far. Yeah.
So-
there's also story issues, but the problem is I don't want to get into, because that gets
I
into
understand.
spoiler territory.
Yeah.
But the story is not great.
Same reasons we won't talk about
Yeah.
the answer.
Yeah. It's
All right.
not great.
Well, that I think was a good rousing response to the question. So thank you, Still Alive, for throwing out that super chat. And I think that about does it for today's episode. So everybody, thank you so much for watching again. It has been a pleasure to stream for you. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a like on whatever platform that you're enjoying this on. If it's on Amazon Music or any of the various other Spotify's or iTunes. iTunes, is that a thing? Apple Music. That's what it's called now. Apple Podcasts, those things. Yeah, we appreciate those. And I guess we'll see you next time over on the HP Pod YouTube channel. So make sure, again, you go over there, get subscribed. There is a pinned comment at the top of the chat there over on the SuperDerek side of things. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a great night, everybody,
Yay.
for episode
night.
100. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Outro button. See ya, everybody.
Good night.